YouTube, what is good? So it is November 2018, and if you have a smartphone or you have any general interest in technology at all, you know that last month basically every major cell phone company released their latest and greatest smartphone. And if you're anything like me, you got on the internet, you got on YouTube, you started watching videos trying to figure out the new specs, if it's worth upgrading, all that cool stuff. And one major thing I found in all these videos was talk about the cameras. But another thing I kind of saw throughout my searching through these videos was videos comparing smartphone cameras to real cameras, things like DSLRs. I saw one video that compared a Google Pixel 2 to a Hasselblad medium format camera, which I totally understand why those videos are out there. It is YouTube after all, people are trying to get views. So I'm going to try to give the photographer's perspective on this smartphone camera versus real camera question, because I think it's an important one. There's a lot of people out there trying to figure out if their smartphone is as good as a real camera, if they should go out and buy a DSLR, what should they use? So I'm going to try to give you the most truthful answer that I can. If you enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe for more. So there's a few major issues in these comparisons between cameras. One is confirmation bias. Basically, confirmation bias is you want a certain outcome, so you tailor an experiment to get the desired outcome. It's kind of like when you have a cough for 3 weeks and you think you have pneumonia, so you go on WebMD, you skip over all the other possibilities, you see pneumonia and say, yep, I knew I had that. So in the case of these camera comparisons, the people making the comparisons want the smartphone camera to match up to the real camera. That's the outcome they want. So they tailor the test to get the desired result and get the clicks they're going for online. Once again, I'm not blaming you. I get it. It's YouTube. I make YouTube videos too. You all want clicks. So what that means is these comparisons are showing example photos that don't need a real camera. I will be the first to admit there are a lot of pictures that I make with my smartphone because I don't need a DSLR anymore. It's unnecessary. Check out this example right here. This is in New York. This is a photo I made with my iPhone. This is a photo I made with my $5,000 Nikon setup. Not that much of a difference, you know, with a photo like this, midday lighting, wide open, just showing how cool this bridge looks, getting some symmetry in there. You don't need a $5,000 camera. I will be the first to admit that. A basic photo like this will be a basic photo regardless of what camera you're using to make it. And that highlights a key point of this whole discussion and comparison, and that is the type of photography you're trying to make defines the tool that you use to make that type of photograph. So essentially, the type of photography you're trying to make determines if you need to use an iPhone or if you need to use a real camera. And that's kind of the hard part of this comparison. You can't tell somebody what they need. They have to figure that out on their own. But there are some pros and cons to each tool. When it comes to the smartphone, obviously convenience is a huge piece. Look how small this thing is. You can make a photo on here, you can process it and post it to social media, text it, share it, whatever you gotta do, all from the same device. And also there's so much going on inside of a device like this with software, with HDR modes and night modes. Basically, you might click that camera button one time, but your phone is taking multiple photos, it's stitching them together, it's making the best image possible for you, essentially. It's taking a lot of work out of your hands to get better photos, and that is great. Now here's the thing, despite all the advantages of a smartphone setup, it does have quite a few disadvantages, and these disadvantages are made up for in a real camera. Things like low light performance. Let's be real here, even though the technology is advancing, I think it's going in a good direction. Low light photos from a smartphone are not anywhere as good as they can be on a real camera. I keep pointing at the real camera, it's my Nikon right here, just to let you guys know. But it's just not as good. That's one thing. Two, obviously real cameras, you can change lenses on them, you can get a lot of versatility, you can photograph sports, you can zoom in, and also you can get low apertures, so you can get bokeh. And I know you're gonna say, but what about portrait modes, all that stuff? Once again, it's technology that is advancing and it's just not the same yet. Still good, it's just not the same. So we've highlighted a few advantages and disadvantages of each tool. Which one should I get? And once again, I can't tell you that answer, but what I can tell you is there's no losers in this comparison. If you're someone who uses your smartphone and you say, yeah, the portrait mode looks great to me, I think the low light photos look great, then use your smartphone. There you go. You have it all in one. This is the camera you need. But if you're someone who looks at your smartphone photos and says, you know, I kind of wish the image looked a little bit better. I wish I had that real bokeh, or I wish my low light photos looked a little bit better, then maybe it's time you do invest in a real camera. Or let's say you're someone making photos with your smartphone and you really fall in love with photography, you want to pursue it as a business. It might be a good idea to invest in the real camera system. But there's no losers. You see, as the technology continues to advance, people who only want to use their smartphone get better photos, and people like me who are professionals who use DSLR cameras now can use their smartphone for a lot more stuff and still get great photos. It's a win-win for everyone. There's so many times that I use my smartphone for photos to post in my Instagram stories, for photos on my Twitter, for things I don't want to drag my big camera out for, and the images look fantastic. They look great. And there's also times where I want to use my larger camera, my DSLR, to get a better photo. There's no losers in this scenario. Everyone wins as the technology continues to advance. It's just up to you to figure out which tool is right for the type of photo you want to make. So that's my thoughts. That's my discussion for the week. On Wednesday, I'm going to get out. I'm going to do a vlog. We're going to do some street photography, so stay tuned for that. Like I said at the beginning, hit that thumbs up button. And also, if you have your own thoughts, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm curious what everyone has to say about this smartphone versus real camera debate. Those are my thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you Wednesday for that vlog. Y'all are the truth. Have a great week, and I'll see you, said that already. I'll see you Wednesday.